Hey YouTube, welcome to TechUvo. Today we're learning Python variables and data types, the building blocks of every Python program. Let's dive in. So first, I printed the Python version to check if my MacBook had Python installed, and it gave me Python version 3.14.2, which is the newest updated version. So if you're not using that, then you're not using the updated version. So we're going to get into creating variables. So we're going to start with creating a Python program, which you use this command to create a Python program. And this is in the terminal. So let's press enter and you see we get this. So now Python is what actually waiting on us to start this program. So we're going to start with creating variables. So we're going to start first with creating a variable. Age equals 17. Here age stores a whole number that's called an integer. And then we're gonna store that to the memory, and we're gonna go down. Height equals 5.9. Now we're gonna get into the data types in a minute. We're just logging the variables to memory. Name equals, now you see I use double quotes because we're gonna get into this, but this data type specifically is called a string. So when you're using any kind of text, you have to use double quotes. Otherwise, it won't work or it'll throw an error in the program. So TechUvo, enter. And this is all being stored to the memory. So later on in your program, you can add these variables to what you're doing, which I'm going to show you because y'all, of course, are trying to learn. So now we're going to do is student, and we're going to say true. Now, this is called a boolean, which is a data type in Python. A boolean is basically saying true or false, whether a statement is true or false. Okay. So now we're going to show you how to use variables. So the print statement is used to print something to the terminal. So I'm going to show you how to do this. So because I'm using words, I have to use the double quote. So I'm going to say my name is, and then we're going to say my name is name. So I didn't have to put the variable inside of the quotes because the variable is itself. Now you're gonna see why once I press enter. My name is TechUvo. So the computer printed name to its memory when I first did it. And once I printed it, it's my name is TechUvo. Okay, so now we're going to do a different statement. So print. And all this is doing is printing something to the terminal. Like here, I put print my name is because this is something I created. This is something that's not in the memory of the computer, but name is. So I didn't have to say name is TechUvo. I just put my name is name. Okay, so we're going to create a different one. Print I'm going to say age. So I am 17. And then we're going to say years old. I am 17 years old. And we're going to see what that does. I am 17 years old. So again, age is in the computer's memory because this is what I stored to the computer's memory in the beginning. And you should always create your variables at the start because it makes your workflow way faster. So I am is what I created using the string method. I am age 17 years old. I am 17 years old. Okay, next we're gonna do print height. And I'm hoping that y'all actually understanding this a little bit, because this is the simple part and it's not that complicated once you actually get it. So I'm gonna say height. So now, before anything, what do y'all think this is gonna print? So height is what I created. So height and height 5.9. So I'm thinking it's gonna print height is 5.9 separated by the semicolon. So let's see. And I was right. And we're gonna print one more. Print a student. And then we're gonna say, we're gonna reference to this variable is student. So is, and look how I'm writing things exactly how I stored it in the memory, because most languages in programming is case sensitive. So that means you have to actually use the exact syntax that you used. So is student. Am I a student? True. So moral of the story is age, height, name is student. These are variables, but these are not data types. These are variables, names that I gave the variables. Now you can use any name that you want to for your variables. It's all different cases. These are the values that I gave the variables. So anytime I reference back to this, these are the values that the computer will reference back to. So the print function is to print to the terminal. So once I press print and I create something and I press enter, it prints to the terminal like this. So again, for this print, it printed it to the terminal. These things are things that I use for my own memory. But age is variables that the computer stored in its memory. Okay, so we're gonna do an interactive example. So favorite food. Favorite food equals input. What is your favorite food? Okay, so input is basically a method to ask the user to type something. Here we're asking for your favorite food. Now, if I actually created a program and y'all were able to actually access it, because of course this is just a video, you will be able to input your favorite food, and then I could output it using a function. But we're gonna get into that later on in a different video. But okay, so what is your favorite food? So it asks you, what is your favorite food? Input. And you can input something. I can input something. So let's just say fries, which is very unhealthy. So I could use that. Now, Python shows what the user typed. This makes our program interactive. So, okay. And that just stored it to the memory. So now if I wanted to reference back to this, I could. So mini recap, because this is a short video. Today we learned variables, stored information, data types. I didn't get into data types, and so let me finish. Okay. So the different data types are integers, floats, strings, and booleans. An integer is any whole number. So, okay. So integers is any whole number. A float is any number with a decimal. So this would be an integer. This float, a float would be this. A float is basically like, okay, let's just say a period floating between numbers, but it's a decimal, of course, to us. A string is anything within double quotes, and booleans is a true or false statement, which is underscore student equals true. Now there are various data types. These are just the basic data types that you will commonly use in your Python programs. So, okay, let me give y'all a better example. So integers. Let's just say 2, 56, 99, 222. These are all integers. Now let's say string hello, I'm TechUvo. That would be a string. Now let's say boolean. And there are different abbreviations as you see. When I use this bool, it turns into the actual data type. So boolean, and let's say we can say is student, what we said. We can say in college. And these are booleans, which are true or false statements. And then next, we're going to use a float. Now, floats are any decimal, so it could be 2.6, it can be 7.9, it can be even 2.4. Anything with a decimal is a float, and that's what the Python program is going to look at. So Python is a dynamically typed language, so meaning that you don't have to declare what the variable is. But in, like, let's just say JavaScript, for example, you have to use let, or you have to use var. So you would have to use, basically you would have to declare what this is. Python, it automatically does it. So you create a variable and say 17, and it'll automatically tell you what that is. And I'm gonna show you real quick. So let's go back. So let's just say print, and I'm gonna show you a string method. But okay, let's just say print, and we're gonna say type, and we're gonna use age. Okay, and it's printed class int, so that means this is an integer. Okay, then let's say print type height, a float, because it has a decimal in the middle. Now let's say print type name. Now I'm pretty sure by now y'all should know what this is going to come out to. Again, string. And we're going to do one more. Print type is student. Bool. So we get a boolean, which is just a true or false statement. So this is an overview of basically variables and data types. So your challenge, I want you to create 3 more variables about yourself. Maybe your favorite color, age, and whether you like pizza, and print them on the screen and share your results in the comments. Thanks for learning Python with me. Don't forget to subscribe to TechUvo for more beginner-friendly tutorials and follow along as we build cool projects step by step. And this is basically a new YouTube channel, a new community I want to build. Any questions that you have about Python or anything referenced, like anything that's related to software development, just leave a comment. And we're creating a community, so I will reply myself. And if I don't get to you, then somebody in the comments will get to you. But thank you. So we're gonna print thanks for learning with TechUvo. And that ends the video.